The minister testified, Minister Mkunu, he testified that there is no IMC in the 7th administration. Is this true?
Yes.
So there is no IMC in the 7th
I'm not aware of any.
Former Minister Cele said that as far as he's concerned, there is still an IMC and a new administration does not dissolve an IMC. You testified that in the 6th administration you attended at least 2 meetings of the IMC. Is former Minister Cele's testimony true?
Well, what I know is that I haven't heard of an IMC meeting, so I take it that the 7th administration has not appointed people to serve in the IMC like the previous administration.
So you agree with the, you disagree with the testimony of former Minister Cele?
I guess if that's how you interpret it, it means yes.
Deputy Minister, from the 30th September 2019, the words used whenever there is an application made or request made by the PKTT for budget, etc., the words used formally is a request for extension. Now, does this mean that there was a clear understanding that it has reached its end date?
Well, I am not aware of the end date that was put, that it must exist from this period to that period.
So what is the reason for the words?
Can we take Honorable Nomval?
Yeah, no, thank you, Chair. On the IMC question, DM, you have responded, and your response says you don't agree with what Minister Cele said. Minister Cele's understanding is that the IMC continues to exist because even to the next administration, because it is not a team of ministers, but it is a team of ministries. Now, the narrative by the suspended minister, Minister Mkunu, is that once the administration ends, then the IMC also lapses. So, and the result of which the PKTT, which is a product of the IMC, also ceases to exist. So that is his justification for disbanding for failing to convene the IMC. In his understanding, it has never existed beyond the administration under which it was formed. So those are the two contending statements that we have as the committee before us. Now, do you agree with the narrative that the IMC, when we go to another administration, ceases to exist?
It must be constituted. The president must constitute it, but it has not been constituted. Ministers who became ministers in their respective portfolios have not been designated that particular responsibility. But the workings of the task team continues. They are investigating, there are cases that they are working on them, the cases have not been wrapped up. They continue with the investigations and they've been continuing to work.
So the task team, which is a product of the IMC,
Yeah.
must continue even if the IMC is not there. That is your understanding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
Deputy Minister, so in your view, formally, when these requests are made, the terms request for extension, according to you, what does that mean when you read it?
Request of extension of what?
Yes, whenever the PKTT requests budget periodically since the 30th of September 2019, all the evidence we've seen, the words they would use is a request for extension. So how would you understand that?
What do I understand that request for extension mean?
Yes, sir, in that context.
I don't know whether they are referring to the extension of their funding or what is the request for. But the task team exists and it is running operations. Obviously, if their budget is exhausted, they will request further funding, and I guess that's how it was done.
So your understanding is that it is only with reference to money, nothing else, not in terms of its existence, to say we've reached the end, we are now requesting for further extension, and this is the period of extension, and for this period of extension, we require X amount of money.
Yeah, I think it's an operational decision that the commissioner will take from time to time for them to continue to do their work. And I think that's what he did.
Minister, do you think that the PKTT should be disbanded?
Well, I have no objection with them folding their work and their work being taken by the murder and robbery unit.
Is there a yes?
Yeah.
You think they should be disbanded?
Yes.
Former Minister Tele, but before I go there, you say in your testimony that you do not necessarily agree with the reasons for disbandment.
Yeah. Yes.
So you agree that there should be disbandment,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily agree with the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your reasons for the disbandment? What would your reasons be?
My reason is you strengthen the capacity to do investigation work around murder and robbery related cases. And as you become effective and efficient, there is no need to put a task team to deal with murders because you are effectively dealing with that aspect.
And that now focuses on the country as a whole rather than
Absolutely.
a zoomed in approach.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Now, if you feel that the reasons you don't necessarily agree with that the minister used, do you then believe that the minister is protecting drug cartels?
No. No.
So now we have, you don't necessarily agree with the reasons,
Yeah.
and you disagree with the allegations that brought
Yeah.
us here,
Yeah.
that the minister has decided in that way because he's protecting drug cartels.
Yeah.
So if we rule out both of that, there must be something that motivated the minister. I am of the view that there is a third possibility, and this possibility is something that the minister is not telling us. What is your view?
I can't speculate because I don't know. accept what is stated there as the reason.
Dear, former Minister Cele testified that when he considered that there are 23 special operatives from the military that has been contracted by Mr. Matlala, and he considered that General Mkonazi told him about 59 special task members that is also employed by taxi bosses, he's worried that the private security companies are being strengthened to the degree that they are more stronger and equipped than SAPS. Are you equally worried?
Of course, I am. We did discuss that with the former minister and agreed that we must do everything possible to retain special task force members, because their training is it's a bit steep, it's expensive. So you must do everything possible to make sure that you retain them in the service of SAPS. They mustn't go and serve private interests. And it was about the task force, but also about other specialized forces, including your detectives. That's why we increased their allowances, so that they must find comfort in doing work for SAPS.
DM, is there a separate army being built in KZN under the guise of private security companies?
I'm not aware of an army that is being built in KZN.
Ayo, Deputy Minister. Thank you, Chairperson.